then we have 500 years since from now, the Turkish era, the Turks, the Ottomans, they settled here in this land for 400 years. And they wanted, the Turks were like the Romans. They wanted to keep peace in this land in order to keep spreading the empire. That's what the Romans did with the Jews.
You need to scoot up this way a little.
So the Turks, they were in a way diplomats, that's right? Yes. Okay. Diplomats. They were diplomats with everyone.
Very spiritual place for me, and I know it was for the shepherds also. This is a wonderful thought that I want you to carry with you. The shepherds were the lowest of the low. Not many people dealt with them. But who was the first ones that the angels announced that Jesus Christ was born? It was those shepherds. And to me, that paints a beautiful picture that Christ is for everyone. Not just for a few, not for the proud, the rich, or even just the Jews, but for everyone. And, you know, when we were little guys, we didn't have all the Game Boys and stuff like that, so I had a vivid imagination. Sometimes that imagination got me in trouble. But can't you just imagine sitting out there with a fire going, and then all of a sudden the skies be full of angels, heavenly hosts. And then all of a sudden, to you, they announce. Can you imagine just falling straight back? I can. I can imagine falling straight back and just looking up and seeing angels all around us. But I want you to remember one other place.
And the beginnings, you can see the flute and the star. When you go out from here, then I want you to look up. And that's where we go later. Up on the top, that's where the cave of Nativity is located. The cave where Jesus is. You will share that with me. It's a very special place. Especially a special cave where I'll take you and you will try to feel things far away from all people. There, and we will sing, and you will enjoy the birth of Christ. Was decreased once, twice, and 3 times down there. So you go through a narrow entrance. And the reason for that narrow entrance was made Crusader time to avoid horses to go in there. The horses can't go in. Now, also, when we bend down with our head down, we consider that tradition, a kind of respect to the church. Most of you are tall, watch your head. The moment we go in, the men take your hat off, please. Okay? If any of you will sit down inside the church later, notice that in the Holy Land here in Israel and Palestinian territories, in our local churches, we don't cross our legs. That's very important. If you do, you will find someone on your head telling you, don't cross your legs. Okay? And here in Palestine at that time. Why to come here, Mary and Joseph? Because Joseph coming from Davidic dynasty, David family tree. So if we follow the family tree of Joseph, we go back to David. And David originally from here, from Bethlehem. Now, that's why they came here all the way from Nazareth. We have many mothers in our group. As a mother, you have your child in you. It's the time to give birth, but you know that someone following you to kill that child. What to do? It was very, very problematic, and she didn't know what to do. She came here, she looked for a hidden place to stay in. She didn't find hotels or whatever, or inns. Then she found a hidden cave. The cave that we will visit in a few minutes is one of many caves around, under you. All the area was built on caves, that church. And one of those caves is very secure. Probably she chose that cave, what came to us as to be the cave where Jesus was born. Now, in that cave, she found 2 things. First of all, hidden area for her as a mother to give birth. So you know her feelings as a mother, physically and psychologically. She didn't want anybody, foreigners, strangers, to see her. Number two, she was afraid for the child because Herod, she heard that Herod, the crazy, want to kill the child. Now, she stayed in that cave where in one section of the cave, according to the biblical details in the Bible, they had like a kind of stable or manger. That's where they had the animals. So she gave birth. Following the details later, then we know that the angels came to Joseph, asked him to take the Holy Family and to keep them safe. So they wandered for about 2 years till Herod the Crazy died. In between the 2 years, we know many biblical events happened, or many things happened to Jesus as a child. First, his mother, as a Jewish child, offered him to the temple in Jerusalem. That means that Mary and Jesus and Joseph, they went to the temple in Jerusalem in a secret way. Imagine Herod in Jerusalem and Jesus the child in Jerusalem. So we are sure that Jesus went there as 8 days old, 8 days only, according to Jewish traditions, and she offered him to the temple, like prayed there and stood there with him in the temple and prayed to the Lord. Now, the question that we usually ask, Herod sent his army here to kill the children of Bethlehem under 2 years old, thinking that Jesus might be one of them. Okay? Why under 2 years old? And when Herod sent his army to kill that child, do you have an answer for that? Do you have an answer for that? Yes, Ron. Say it.
I think it has to be the same life and traveling, and then they did not get back to him. He put down any attempt of error.
So how old was Jesus when the wise men came here?
He was probably his father here and there, because the Bible calls him a young child when he came to the house.
Okay, he wasn't that little infant. He was a kind of child. Then we can go for 1.5 to 2 years. Okay, that biblical little information telling us also what? That Jesus and his mother and Joseph, they didn't left to Egypt when Jesus was a few days or months. No. They probably went and came, and probably went to the desert south, directing towards Egypt till Jesus was 2 years old, after the wise men came and visited. So Herod sent his army. They didn't find anyone because Herod waited for the wise men, and he told them, oh, you are going to present the gifts. Let me know because I want also to give honor to the child. But they were clever. They changed their way. They went east, back home. Now, it seems that the wise men from Persia, they left some paintings of their kings on the walls or whatever somewhere in the caves here. We don't have it. But this is the only analysis why this church later never been destroyed. We'll talk about that in a minute. So 2 years old, children of Bethlehem were being killed. In the caves where we will go later, the archaeologists, they found hundreds or thousands of little pieces of bones of children, and also big ones for mothers, believed to be for the mothers who had the child in their hands. So they killed the child and the mother. Now, a little junction here or word, and this is a kind of, with my respect to all of you and your church and background, I wish, Ron, that Protestant churches, they will give more space in that church to talk about Mary, Mother of Jesus. That's a wish. And I hope to hear that from now on, more and more. Because let's don't forget that we are not worshiping Mary, but she was chosen. She was honored by the Lord. to have the child. Okay, but we can move voice and do it with our hearts and souls. Let's go.
Ed ha permesso ai musulmani di piegare un abside laterale uno alla volta. Con la tradizione, con il tempo si è andata via questa tradizione. Vengono incrociati, prendono la chiesa, restaurano.
We don't cross our legs, please. Lillian, how did you felt while we sang Silent Night? And tears came out of your eyes there. I saw that. Share with us what you felt there, please. Tell us about your feelings.
It was overwhelming. It was exciting. It was something I didn't expect to experience so deeply, so fulfilling.
Fulfilling. Cave there, and we hear Silent Night. And somewhere around here, Jesus was born. Please.
It was really indescribable. I just felt the presence of the Lord. I just felt His presence. It just came over me. I just couldn't contain myself. It was just phenomenal.
We sing light, all deep and dreamless sleep, the silent stars go by. Yet in thy dark street shine the everlasting light. Hopes and fears